back to Matchbox Revival. Today I'm working on the 29A Bedford milk float. I purchased this van from a website called Etsy. The gentleman Coos, this is his site. He's got a number of different cars and quick shipping, great packaging, and good pricing. He gives a 10% discount if you buy a few items from him. Great job, Coos. Thank you. So the 29A Bedford milk float joined in 1956. It came along with the other milk float, which was produced in 1954, which had a horse and a head. It continued to 1961, and in 1961 it was discontinued, and the new milk float was the 21 that joined the series. Model seems a little bit chipped. Casting's in great shape. Wheels are metal. Axles are slightly rusted. And they have the crimped over axle style. So we'll start off by color matching. There's a couple of variances in the beige color, the tan. The lighter seems to be the more rare of the colors that are available. This one here seems to be the light tan color. So we want to match it. So we're going to start off with the regular containers. One will be for the base and the white milk cases, and the other one will be for the body. Colors we're going to use are yellow, X8, X2, and a little bit of X9. So I started off with a little bit of white, a couple drops of yellow, and a couple drops of brown. And the color didn't seem quite red enough. You see my early samples here. I actually went past it a little bit. So I added some white and came back. And then once I added a little bit of clear red, I noticed that the regular red is a bit strong. Even one little drop in it will change it drastically. So I used the clear reds because it's a little bit more subtle. And then we got into this area here, and this is my final color right here. So that's what we'll go with. The white, I'm just going to add a little bit of yellow just to dirty it up a bit. The milk containers in the back don't look pure white. So the next stage will be disassembly. The model has one rivet post in the top and one tab in the back, very loose. And I did notice the rivet post is also very loose. So I'm going to try and just pry it off and see where we go. Now, what I'll do is I'll drill it out. I don't want to break anything. So using a drill bit about the same size as the rivet post. Just slowly drill it out. I don't think it's going to take much. Make sure you don't damage the base when you're doing this. Very gentle. And a little bit of pry, off it comes. Excellent. So I sound down the top of the post. Anybody seen my last video, you'll see the disaster that happened when I did this. Being careful. You want that post down low enough that when you put the screw, it grabs the base and doesn't sit up higher than the base. Perfect. Okay, using the 1.6 millimeter drill bit, I'll drill at the end of the post, setting a depth with a piece of tape, making sure you don't go too far. Nice and square, nice and slow. So finishing the tapping, usually count the turns, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So between 10 and 12 usually is plenty. And I'll try and fit the 2 millimeter button head screw. And it's perfect. So next I'll try and remove the axles. I'll try and take off the side of each side of the axle and try and slide it through, see if I can reuse the axles. If not, I'll just make new ones out of nails. So with my Dremel and stone bit on slow speed, and rounding it off, work the tire off slowly, and we'll try and save the axle. I'll re-crimp that and see if I can save it. One nice thing about the wheels that I think is really cool is they have a number on them, and that identifies, I guess, an assembly when they did it way back when. But I still think that's really cool because the tires represent the model or the marking. So here's all the parts disassembled and ready for paint stripping. And I'll clean my workstation at the same time. So the next step is to strip the paint off the model. Using my local hardware store paint stripper. And I will let that sit for a couple hours anyways. So I pulled out the paint stripper yesterday and it did absolutely nothing. So I tried another product, Easy Strip, more eco-friendly definitely, and I wondered how it would work. So I just soaked it in a bath overnight and I'm ready to pull it out, see how we did. And looks like it stripped it down pretty good. Trying my Dremel with the one bit. It's low speed just to see how it goes. And it seems to be removing the paint pretty good. So after giving it a good polish, there's still a lot of locations in the corners that are got paint in them. sharpen one of these dental tools with some sandpaper, and I'll just continue to pick at these little corners and get every little bit out, making sure that the detail comes out around those little bottles inside there and here and along the other side as well.
So I always use the Tamiya Fine Surface Primer in the gray. I don't know, the white I find it doesn't cover very well. Seems to wash out the white for some reason. The gray seems to have a bit more body to it. Fills in the little small little scratches better. Now for the body.
So while I'm waiting for the primer to dry and harden, I work on the axles, putting them in my cordless drill. I start off with some 220 sandpaper and just run it on the axle just to clean them up, get rid of the rust. And then with some 2000 just to polish them up nice. So with the tires, I've decided to try something new. I usually just give them a little wash, but I'm going to try a little bit of metal polish and see how they clean up. Just to tidy them up a little bit and put a bit of a shine back on them.
So I start off with the base. Some light coats. Fill in all those angles and corners. And now for the body. So we'll check again a couple light coats, making sure you get into all those nooks and crannies. I like to shoot the inside first. Once that's done, I work on the outside, and you see the most. Looks good. I'll let it dry for a little bit, and then I put it in the toaster oven. Harden the paint so you don't leave any finger marks. So I started the assembly on the tires.
I like to, as I showed you before, the number 29 I like to put on the outside. There it is, so I'll put it on the outside. And with a pair of vice grips, I'll crimp the end. And we were able to reuse the axles with and the base fits in the back. I took the screw out already. The tab in first. Place it down. And I'll do some chrome on the headlights and grille, and that'll be it for the model. So there you have it, the 29A Bedford milk float delivery van.